Welcome to the first edition of Alan's View, bite-sized broadcast giving you latest updates and views on the world of digital trust. Hello, my name is Alan Goode and I'm the CEO and Chief Analyst at Goode Intelligence, a leading biometrics, authentication, fraud and security, and identity research and consulting company based in London. This recording was created on Wednesday the 21st of July from a very hot and sunny London. I would like to share with you what has caught my eye so far this week, and a couple of stories from the UK to start off with. On Monday the 19th, the UK officially ended all its COVID-19 restrictions and opened music and nightclubs and indoor events with no restrictions on numbers and the wearing of masks. For the time being, people entering these venues will not be requested to take a test or show proof that they have been vaccinated. There's been much debate on the use of so-called vaccine or health passports that prove whether a person has been vaccinated against COVID and also whether they've tested negative for COVID. Nightclubs in the UK will be forced to demand proof of double vaccination as a condition of entry by the end of September this year, amid growing fears that there could be hubs for major outbreaks of COVID-19, especially going into the Northern Hemisphere autumn. There are also discussions whether they also need to be used for entry into bars and restaurants. In the UK, proof of vaccination is supported currently by the NHS mobile app, where ID verification, supported by face biometrics, is required when registering for the service. France is also currently rolling out its health pass. From today, French citizens need proof of vaccination, a test or recent recovery from COVID to enter most museums and cinemas. French lawmakers will also debate whether to extend its use in August for entry to cafes, restaurants, and shopping malls. Health passes are seen as being critical in the back to travel movement. Travel is a sector that has been severely hit by the pandemic, and despite the vaccination effort, is still struggling. For instance, figures from EasyJet, a budget airline operator in Europe, has just reported a £318 million third quarter pre-tax loss. And the airline during this period was only operating at 17% capacity. Vaccine or health passports are seen as an important tool in opening up the economy in a safe way. And there are lots of efforts working on creating secure, portable, interoperable passports that can work both offline and online. COVID health passes are examples of proofs tied to an identity. For them to work nationally and internationally, they need to be backed by policy and government-backed frameworks. Our second story from the UK is linked to this, is that the UK government has launched consultation on plans for UK digital identity market. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS, wants to gather the views of interested parties on proposals to make digital identities as trusted and secure as official documents. The consultation follows on from the publication of a draft digital identity and attributes trust framework in February this year. A second version of the framework is expected to be released later this month. Under the DCMS plan, a governing body will be established to oversee regulation and certification of digital identity providers, which may be awarded a trust mark to demonstrate their conformance with the framework. Organizations awarded a trust mark will be allowed to conduct digital checks against government data. DCMS said that it's likely that an existing regulator will take on governance of the digital identity market, and this could be the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office. The consultation closes on the 13th of September, so if you are a provider of identity solutions, I would recommend checking out the online resources for this on gov.uk. Next, I have a story from across the pond. We recently collaborated with behavioral biometric specialist BehaviourSec on a study focusing on the impact of global data regulation and biometrics. Early this month, New York City's new biometrics privacy law took effect. The law follows other US states, including Illinois, Washington, and Texas, in protecting its citizens from biometrics. And for New York, it also affects the millions of visitors each year that visit the city. It gives them greater protection over how their biometric data is collected, processed, stored, and used. It particularly affects how live facial recognition systems are operated and follows greater security scrutiny of the use of this technology by governments and law enforcement agencies. Finally, let's have a roundup of investment and M&A activity for this sector for July thus far. 2021 has so far been a stellar year for the digital trust market, with over $1 billion invested in the first 6 months of the year. The second half of 2021 is looking to emulate the first half. This includes Stitch, a passwordless authentication company, picking up $30 million in Series A funding. Passwordless authentication is an area of intense investment activity and follows on the back of the record $543 million funding for Transmit Security in June. I'm looking forward to talking to Transmit Security next week and finding out how they intend to take their biometric authentication solution onto another level. Norwegian digital identity company Signicat has followed the acquisition of our friends at Incap Security with another purchase in July to give them a foothold in the Spanish market. Electronic identification, EID, provides asynchronous video identification based on video in streaming with end-to-end coverage of the identification process. Signicat are really building out their identity capabilities for the EU market, and we expect more consolidation in the EU identity market for the second half of this year. That's all for me now. I hope you have found this of value, and please look out for my next recording very soon. And check out our website, www.goodeintelligence.com, our Twitter account @GoodeIntel, and our Goode Intelligence YouTube channel. Thank you and stay safe.